All right, guys, welcome back to the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast, episode 188.
Yes.
And, Guy, we are here live
in a castle
at Lancaster Golf Club.
Yeah, what a place.
Say hello, everyone, from Lancaster Golf Club. I think you can do a little bit better than that. Hello, Lancaster Golf Club. It's more like
a pantomime.
He's behind you. We have just completed day 3 of cycling from St Andrews, the home of the 150th Open Championship, to Royal Liverpool. I've now managed to clock up, my maths isn't great, 350 kilometres.
Insane.
We've got another 150 kilometres to go. I need to add a bit more time on. You joined me today on Barry the Bike.
Yeah, but there's a caveat. I joined you today on Barry the Bike, but for some short little stints because it's brutal. It is absolutely solid. And I've said to a few of these people today at Lancaster Golf Club, it's not like a bike. Like normally a bike, you pedal and it moves. That thing, you pedal, it just doesn't move. It's like a tractor. How on earth are you doing it?
Me and Barry have become quite friendly.
Yeah, I can see
this last 3 days. And I know everything about Barry and he knows everything about me. He has broke down a couple of times, the boy.
Yeah.
So the backstory, I don't think we've actually explained this, certainly on the podcast or publicly. First off, the reason why I'm doing this is I did the charity walk last year across Scotland from Prestwick to St Andrews. It was 6 days, 6 marathons carrying my golf clubs, and it was really, 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 really hard. But I'm a weird type of person and I absolutely loved it. And we managed to raise £128,000 for Prostate Cancer UK. And thank you.
Thank you.
Well, to be honest, it's thanks to you guys. Thanks for everyone that listens. Thanks for everyone that watches. Thanks for everyone who donated. And I loved it so much that I thought I've got to do something next year. So I wanted to connect the open venues. So I wanted to do St Andrews to Royal Liverpool. And even today, we've started talking about how we go from Royal Liverpool to Royal Troon in Scotland next year. And there was rumours, vicious rumours, being thrown about doing 8 marathons in 8 days.
Sick.
I squashed those rumours pretty quickly. I said that ain't going to happen, but we'll see. So I wanted to do something again, a bit like me, and you'll know this guy. I'm not particularly the best person at planning in the world. So about 3 months ago, I spoke to my really good friends at Prostate Cancer and said, I want to do something this year. Matt and Ed are laughing as well. I want to do something this year. I want to do something bigger. I want to cycle from St Andrews to Royal Liverpool. And I've seen a bike. I've seen something online. It's a 4-seater. We can turn it into like a golf buggy. We can pedal it. We can put our clubs on the back.
But when you say you saw that online, what websites are you on to see that monstrosity? I can't even say that word. Monstrosity. I can't say it. Say it. Help me. Monstrosity. Is that right?
That's good enough.
3 times.
I Googled it and found that there was a bike that you could be used on a golf course, but also put your clubs on,
right,
that you can cycle, which I actually thought was a great idea anyway. I reached out to the company and realised the company had actually gone out of business a couple of years ago. So it actually wasn't that great of an idea because obviously they didn't sell any of the things. But what they did, they actually, a few people did buy them, and certainly I don't know what you call it, like a science experiment base in Zurich, Switzerland.
Okay.
And they use these bikes to take scientists to the middle of these mountains to do all this research. And there was a couple of them becoming retired. And we reached out to them and said, could we have them? And they said, yes, you can have them on the premise that you give us 3 bottles of wine.
Really?
3. So the great team at Prostate Cancer sent a guy up called Mortz in a transit van, drove him to Zurich with 3 bottles of wine, and the exchange happened at midnight, at the stroke of midnight, as the full moon was in shot, and Barry became ours. And we actually took on Barry's sister as well.
Okay.
Ethel. So we've got Barry, who's the blue bike, and Ethel, that's the yellow bike, because we wanted to take the best parts of Ethel, like any really good relationship, take all the good parts of Ethel and put them on Barry.
Nice.
And that's kind of...
sounds a bit weird. Like any good... Elaborate?
There might be baby Barrys and Ethels very soon. There might be baby Barry and Ricks very soon. So anyway, we made a working Barry bike and we got him over to Scotland. And I didn't see the bike in person till the day before riding it from St Andrews. And I met in this really shady car park and I was like, it got dragged out of the van. I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
because it's in the state that it's in, and it needs a lot of TLC. Anyway, we put the clubs to the back, and off we went. So we kind of just set sail. Day one was the hardest day I thought so far until today. Lots of hills and undulations out of St Andrews. Day two was actually not too bad. We went from Biggar all the way to Carlisle. And then today has just been an absolute slog. I think we've gone uphill by about 1,500 meters today. And you've encountered some of those hills. Yeah. It's a real slog.
Well, you have recently ran a London Marathon with very little training, and you completed that. Last year you did, was it 5 marathons? Six. Yeah. Well, there you go. 6 marathons, 1 marathon a day walking from Prestwick to St Andrews. You are right now convinced this is the hardest of all the challenges you've done thus far.
I'm not exaggerating this start. On Monday evening, once I finished, I genuinely was like, I need to quit because I couldn't do it. I was in so much pain. Like my average heart rate for the whole trip is like 145, 150 beats per minute. And I'm literally pedaling and pedaling and pedaling and pedaling. And a couple of times when Barry unfortunately failed on us, I've got my backup bike, which is my two-wheel cycle bike, strapped my clubs to my back still with a bungee cord and cycled on that. That was really bloody hard.
I could tell how hard it was today when I met you for the first time and got on the bike. I'm not a great runner, but I can run a 5K comfortably around 25 minutes, and you're similar, like decent-ish standard. We got on the bike today, we cycled 5K, and that was about 35 to 40 minutes.
Because it was just like this.
And that's cycling, like it's so difficult.
The downhills are fun though, so we broke two speed limits today.
Well, there's actually, we went past a guy who shouted at us saying something like, you're not going to break any speed limits today, guys.
So
like,
we're in T-Bay. We're in T-Bay going up this hill, and literally up this hill, like, I think an old grandma in a walking stick like raced past us, and I think a couple of turtles went past us, and we were like literally like pedaling and pedaling and pedaling, doing what we could. And like I said, the guy said, you're not breaking any speed limits. We thought, we'll show him. About 2 minutes up the road, we were coming down this hill, and the bike's got a little speedometer on, and we were like, come on, let's do this. And luckily for us, there was some roadworks being done. So the national speed limit on that road was 20 miles per hour. So we were like, we got this. And we managed to get to a grand total of 20.3 miles per hour.
Yes.
So if there's any coppers in the room, I apologize. Arrest us now, because I'll happily go down for that. And then later on a I don't know what the road speed was, we actually managed to clock a fastest speed of 32 miles per hour on Barry today, and that was scary. Like really, really scary, because the brakes is so sketchy. It's like a lever and it's like screaming every time you pull it. So yeah, it's not the best.
Last year you did this for Prostate Cancer UK. This year it's Prostate Cancer UK. It's obviously a charity that you've now raised a lot of money for, but I feel like you're quite passionate about. And why is it that you've chosen to kind of work with, if you like, prostate cancer and publish this cause to so many people?
For me, luckily, and touch wood, I've actually had no personal connections to the cancer. I've had other family members die of other cancers, but for me, it was the fact that when I look at my audience and it's heavily geared towards males of a certain age, 1 in 8 men get prostate cancer. Men of 50 years up is the most vulnerable, 50 years plus are the most vulnerable people to get it. And it's actually the most common cancer in men. So it's more aligning the actual cancer to my channel really, and who watches the channel, because it's so important to look after your health, make sure you get checked. You can easily get checked with a blood test. It's worth just kind of keeping an eye on it, because it's a huge killer. And if whatever we can do to raise money and awareness for it, the awareness is bigger than the money to some degree. I've got a funny story about the money today. So when I set off on these charity things, I'm never quite sure how much money it's going to raise. Last year blew my mind that we managed to raise 128,000. I mean, it really did. So this year I didn't expect to maybe go as far as that. So the donations came in really nicely, and I did a very clickbait title to get people watching a video to come and donate. And then the donations were coming in very nicely. So today I was like, no, let's see if we can really ramp it up. So I did another video last night, basically saying I'm like, this is really, really, really hard. And we put a video to it, which really pulls on a lot of heartstrings to kind of show that, how prostate cancer affects people, in whether it's the dad, the granddad, the brother, uncles, etc. And we started to really see the charity donations come up. And today I actually did a little stint on TalkSport today. And Andy Goldstein got me on TalkSport about 6:30. And I did a little 10-minute interview on the radio. It's really good. So I thought that might have a bit of a boost. That might have a bit of an impact. So we were on maybe £32,000 raised at that point. So I was like, wow, we're doing really well now. And I literally refreshed and it jumped straight up to £42,000 raised. And I'm like, whoa. That has had a big impact. So I'm reading down a few of the comments and it's like £5 well done, £10 well done. And then there's a donation for £10,000. I'm thinking, what? And you'll never guess who it was from. It was actually donated by James Corden. So James Corden had listened to TalkSport.
Crazy.
He'd said, love what you're doing. Congratulations. He donated £10,000. So, I mean, it's just like mind blowing. So, the fact we've now got 42,000, I think it's even over 44,000 pounds now raised. I'd love to get over 50,000. So if you are listening to this podcast, or you're watching the video and you do want to donate, the link's down below. We've got one more day to go, and I think it's going to be really hard the last day. Fortunately, it's quite flat, but I've got to make up some of the miles I lost today, or some of the kilometers I lost on today. So I've got to do 150 kilometers tomorrow. So it's going to be a really hard day. So if you can donate, people who are listening and watching, I'd really appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
You know what though? There's been a couple of times. I mean, the fans, the audience are so good. The support I've had online has been amazing. The reception I got at Carlisle Golf Club was really, really good. They had a junior day on. This is quite cool. I don't know if you guys do it, people listen, or even Lancaster Golf Club. They were trying to raise money for the junior section at the golf club. So that day, Sunday, when I arrived, they have kids doing kind of jobs around the clubhouse for donations. So it might be washing cars, it might be cleaning clubs, it might be having challenges, it might be beat the junior for £10, and they managed to raise £1,600, which is really good. So we did a little one-hole scramble, me and the juniors, and I said if we make par or better, I'd top it up to £2,000, and we managed to make par or better before the heavens opened and absolutely lashed it down. And then so that was an amazing reception. And I'm not just saying this because I'm here at Lancaster Golf Club today, but genuinely when we came down that road there, I was bloody struggling, like really, really struggling. Me and Guy were like, come on, and to see everybody at the front gate, I was actually live streaming on Instagram at the time, to see people at the front gate and to welcome, and the reception we've had here is really appreciated. So just want to thank everyone here at Lancaster Golf Club, and thanks for the people who've been buying me the beers, because they're really good. And I think there's I'll kind of come on to the last few thanks, and then we can open it up to questions or anything else we need to cover. My team have been amazing. Ed and Matt, they've been living the life, I would say, running around, chasing me, trying to get drone. We're actually going to make a video of this whole thing, like a mini documentary. These guys have absolutely killed it. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And then the support team. So we've had Sarah, Katie, Ross, who've I've forgotten so far. Dan, Paul have been, Morts, who's on the motorbike. They're all at the back there. Thank you so much. They've been absolutely amazing. Katie and Sarah, who are just there at the back, if everyone can turn around. Powerhouses. So they've really helped me on the bike. Like they've absolutely killed it.
Were they better than me? I'm not surprised.
Less whinging from you guys.
I didn't whinge much.
About 2 minutes into the bike, he goes, "This is hard, isn't it?" I'm like,
I was trying to make you feel better for doing so much.
I'm like, shut up. No, it was really good. So huge thanks to those guys, and thanks to like Carlisle and Lancaster Golf Club and Royal Liverpool tomorrow for just kind of, last minute ringing up and saying, "Can we come and..."
Last minute, Rick Shiels? Doesn't sound like Rick.
Might get a room. People think I'm really planned and well organised.
No, you're not.
Yeah. So really cool. And then I think while we're obviously doing a podcast and we're doing live things, unless we want to cover any more of that story, I'd love to talk about our amazing week last week.
Well, I was thinking this before. So we did a podcast last week about the kind of Live PJ Tour, DP World Tour, shot kind of merger. And I can't remember at that point what day that was. Can you remember? Did we talk about the trip much? Did we talk about Muirfield and the lunch? So what a week we had last week.
So last week we went up to Scotland, and obviously we were up there and then I could start the ride. We started to do these kind of filming weeks where we go to certain pockets of golf courses and play. And last week we managed to do Gullen, which is a really old golf course, beautiful golf course, hosted the Scottish Open. Me and Iona Stephen, who's a channel favourite, we did a scramble video. That'll be coming out soon. And we were on the 13th hole when I received that text message about the merger, which kind of threw me off my game.
Yeah, whatever. Did you break 7? Oh, was it a scramble? So
yeah,
did it go low?
I've been playing so bad at the moment. But I've been thinking about the cycle. And,
of course you have.
I've been training, do you know what I mean?
Sore legs.
So then we played, and then we got in, the next day, I went to Archerfield in the morning, and weirdly, Mr. Peter Finch was up there. Mm-hmm. So I did a scramble video with me and Pete at Archerfield. Archerfield, I mean, it's one of the best places in Scotland.
If I could join any golf club in the world...
Apart from Lancaster Golf Club and Carlisle Golf Club.
Yeah, and Royal Liverpool, it would...
And Augusta.
Yeah, and the old course. But then...
or North Berwick.
And then Marriott Worsley Park. But then it would be Archerfield. It has literally got everything. It's got the best state-of-the-art practice facilities you will ever see on the planet. It has got 2 amazing golf courses. It's got this massive clubhouse that's like quite kind of modern, but yet kept some kind of tradition to it as well. It's just, wouldn't you say, it's just, if you like golf, which obviously we like golf, it's heaven.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really nice. I think anywhere in that section of Scotland, anywhere, that is just like perfect. So did Archerfield. And then I didn't really want to talk about this so much on the podcast, but it was really a nice thing last week. So I got contacted by a charity a few months ago now, and it's Rays of Sunshine, it's called, the charity. It's like a Make-A-Wish charity. And I got contacted about a young lad called Oliver who had a brain tumour. And he's had it since he's very young. And one of his Make-A-Wish was to actually play golf with me at a Renaissance Golf Club, which is just opposite Archerfield. So as much as I can do these things, I will do. So I went and met him. And actually in the morning he played with Pete. That's why Pete was up in that area. And we had lunch together. So it's me, Pete, Oliver, his mum, and a few from the charity. And he's an 18-year-old lad. He's had a brain tumour since he was very young. What a positive, lovely outlook on life he's got.
Wow.
He's got into golf. It's quite interesting, actually. I don't know if my mum's still here. My mum's hiding behind the corner there. My mum surprised me at Lancaster Golf Club today, which is very nice. The story of him getting into golf was actually weirdly quite similar to mine. So my mum, the lady sat in the corner there, is probably drinking. Is she drinking? A little bit of... No. Someone buy my mother a drink. Surely. My mum got me into golf when I was the age of 11, and she dragged me to a driving range, and I was hitting balls, and she became lady captain, and unfortunately doesn't play golf now. But what was quite nice, Oliver's story was weirdly quite similar.
Really?
So his mum played golf from an early age, she got him into golf because he was quite downhearted. He'd been through a lot of surgery and a lot of chemotherapy, or what they need for the tumor, and he wasn't getting much exercise. She decided to try and get him out on the golf course and play golf. And he said, "Look, I'll give it a go." And since that, they play golf together all the time.
Oh wow!
She the release and the mental health benefits for her has been enormous. Wow. And he was really good. So we played 9 holes. We called it the Rick and Oliver Invitational.
Nice.
Okay. We're looking at potentially inviting you next year, but he hinted at it.
Did he?
But I said we'll have to speak. We made the rules up, which was the best game in the world. So we both played an amazing game of golf.
Did you play well then?
I played terrible.
Really? Even with making your own rules up? I made the rules up. I cheated and I still didn't break par. There's something seriously wrong at the moment. But the Renaissance is so hard. But yeah, that was really, it was just such a nice, you got to play with Pete and Katrina Matthew in the day. Oh, wow.
And then we played as the sun came down at Renaissance at night. And I've been texting him and all sorts now. He's asking for like swing advice. But he was great. So, and then the next day we got, I can't think of my tracking of time.
So it was
now.
Archerfield the next day.
Yeah,
and then after Archerfield,
we got invited, which sounds very snobby and a bit snooty. We got invited for lunch, shirt and tie jobby, at Muirfield Golf Club. So they've hosted the Open Championship several times. In fact,
it's 16
times.
I think it's 16 times.
They've hosted the Ryder Cup, the Walker Cup, the Curtis Cup, the Amateur Championship, the Open.
Yeah.
Everything you can host pretty much. And we got invited for lunch, and I thought it was a way of kind of vetting us out.
I think it was, definitely.
Whether we were suitable candidates to play the golf for the next day.
There was a bit more to it than that though.
We got a proper tour. It was amazing. But I just thought they're going to get us really, 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 really drunk and see how we behave.
I was worried about Rick, I'll be honest.
I did the really, 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 really drunk bit and passed with flying colours. So that was good. No, it was really good. We had lovely lunch. We got shown around the clubhouse. The history of the place was amazing.
Well, what was quite unique with it is when we got in touch about filming, which we obviously do with golf courses, and Muirfield's one of the most exclusive, highly regarded golf courses on the planet, and it's ranked like the top 15 in the world. Very quickly said, yeah, we'd love to come and film, which was brilliant. And we were so excited to go and play this amazing golf course and film this video. And then a few weeks later, they got in touch again and said, you're still welcome to come, but you basically have to come for this lunch beforehand so we can kind of show you our history and like Rick said, kind of vet us out, so to speak. But, and also on that, they said that we have members of this golf club who see it as a lunch club with a golf course attached. So we were like, what do we expect? And Rick will tell you this. I am the most fussy eater on the planet. So going for lunch in a shirt and tie, I was genuinely nervous of what I was going to have. So we put our suits on. And
by the way, I was quite embarrassed about that.
Were you?
Yeah. So I'm not a suit guy.
Yeah.
Okay. The only real suit, I've got 2 suits.
Yeah.
One for funerals, one for weddings.
One for court, 3 suits.
That's my funeral suit. So I kind of turned up to this thinking, what do I wear? Like, so I wore my wedding suit, not my actual wedding suit, the suit that I would wear for a wedding. Wrong vibe.
We looked like 2 kids going on a prom, didn't we?
We'll actually put a picture in the actual video of this. So you went out and bought a new suit.
I bought a suit from Matalan, high-end Matalan. My wife works at Matalan head office, so I got a nice, I think it was 33% discount. So I splashed out quite a whopping 60 quid on a new suit. Actually looked all right in it.
You look great in it.
Thank you very much.
I turned up in a three-piece
suit,
blue suit, and it just wasn't the vibe. Like, do you know, like when like,
you know, we looked like 2 people going to the races, I would say.
Yeah.
They were all wearing nice, like, it weren't matching, was it?
None of it was like, matching. Checkered blazers.
Yeah, cream pants, little loafers. We had shiny
they look
flickers on.
Yeah, we it was shirt and tie, but not our shirt and tie, or jacket and tie.
We stood out like a sore thumb, essentially.
But not our jacket and tie. I was so uncomfortable, it was ridiculous. And then we went back to Gullen Golf Club because the lads went and played a bit of golf. I ended up saying, I need to get out of this. And I actually bought a hoodie from Gullen, which was outrageously expensive. It's like 90 quid for a hoodie from Gullen.
Yeah.
But anyway.
The good news was, though, the lunch was carvery. So I was absolutely over the moon. Massive Yorkshire potatoes, beef, veg, sticky toffee pudding for dessert. So it was my heaven. But it was...
And the wine was really, really good.
Yeah.
The wine was excellent.
But it was... and also the other tradition they have is they play pretty much exclusively foursomes golf. So you play in a 4-ball, but you play alternate shot with a partner. So it's fast. You play really fast rounds. So we played foursomes, and we won't reveal the score yet because I have to watch the video.
There's one rule in foursomes.
You don't say sorry.
No matter what you do, even if you hit the worst shot in the world,
you can't
you're not
say
allowed
sorry.
to say sorry to each other, which was really hard for Guy.
Nice. Do you want to tell everyone your joke you did today?
No,
come on.
It's not going to land.
It will. It was arguably the best joke.
It's not going to land now.
It has to land.
It won't.
You're not doing it?
It won't land.
It will. Right, I'll tell you then. So, it will. I hope it lands. Pretend it lands. Everyone here who's live, just laugh really loud.
Canned laughter.
It was quick as well, right? So we were obviously out today cycling, and the guys on the motorbike, Morty's phone kept overheating. He had like an iPhone. It always overheats in the sun. So at one of the breaks, they had a little fridge in the van. So he put his phone in the fridge, believe it or not, to cool it down. And we were sat there while he was doing that, and we were all sat having a minute, having a Lucozade. And then his phone started ringing. And someone said, "Is that your phone?" "Oh yeah, it's in the fridge." And dead quick, Rick went, "It'll be a cold caller." Did it land or not? It was good. It was good.
Thank you. It was really funny.
It was really funny.
So yeah, no, and then the next day, sorry, the last day is then Scotland, and then we'll open up some questions.
The best golf course ever? Be honest, and you two played it as well.
I've still got one more that's slightly
where else have you been that's any good?
I've got one more golf course that I've played this year that was fairly decent. That's has a green, lots of green and a yellow logo. But North Berwick was a very, very second close.
Has anyone here played North Berwick who's here at Lancaster? A number of people have. Would you agree it's one of the best courses on the planet? There's a few nods. Yeah, what a golf course.
Oh, he just said it's good.
It's good? Oh, wow. Not actually played Dunbar.
No. Oh, Dunbar, I've not played that one. Let you off.
No, North Berwick golf. It's got some vibes of the old course St Andrews. Yeah. Certainly the 18th hole where you're playing back into the town and you've got the clubhouse behind the 18th green. But what an insane golf course that's literally on the coast. You see the coast so much. There's so many quirky holes. There's actually a wall that goes across one of the, basically in front of the green. There's 3 walls. One of them basically blocks off a green. If your ball lands on the beach, which it can easily do, you play it off the beach. It's incredible.
It is amazing. And we got a tea time for Matt and Ed. Ed, you never pick up the mic. Pick up the mic, Ed. Give everyone a little...
It's a really long cable.
So after we played, it is amazing. North Berwick's amazing. The video will be coming out soon. It's superb. And no spoilers, but I made a little string of birdies.
Yes.
And then I made a lot of triple bogeys.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens. Ed, you played it later. Best course you've ever played?
Best course I've played.
All right.
Helps I hit the green on 18.
Did you?
Yeah.
Hit driver or freewood?
Missed the putt though.
Freewood?
Driver.
Driver.
Low cut.
Nice. Ed's arguably the best player that works in the media business.
Yeah.
And when I say arguably, he's the best golfer. We maybe should utilise you a little bit more, Ed.
Maybe.
No, you make me look bad. And then Matt, you enjoyed it as well, didn't you?
Best course ever.
Best course ever?
Yeah, by far.
So those videos will be sprinkled out over the next few weeks. So yeah, should be good. Anyway, before we leave everybody for their fantastic Monday evening, and I've got a fish and chips order on toe. I'm actually starting to go really lightheaded, to be honest with you.
Just a quick one. People are listening to the podcast, maybe in the car, at the gym. You need to watch the video version because Rick isn't sat in his normal attire. You're sat in a prostate cancer shirt that's very sweaty, to be honest.
This is my second one today.
You look like you need a good shower, as do I.
Honestly, I feel very dizzy.
Yeah,
right
so just a quick note. If you're listening to this, make sure you go over to the YouTube channel and just watch it, even if it's for a few minutes, to see Rick in all his glory.
Sorry, can I just have a glass of water if you don't mind? Sorry, I'm being a bit diva. Right, should we finish this off with a few questions from the floor?
Yes. So we've got a microphone here that does stretch out a bit, but if you do want to ask a question, you might need to come a little bit to the front and then just speak into the mic. So obviously it records for the audio podcast.
And then speak loud enough so everyone else can hear you.
Has anyone got a question? Yeah?
First of all, guys, massive congrats on the last few days. It's been great to watch it on social media and stuff like that. My question to you is, what's the best location for a weekend away golf trip in England and in Europe?
Wow.
England excluding Scotland, or?
England excluding Scotland, yeah.
To be honest, I'd actually probably say down the West Coast, like Hillside, S&A, Birkdale.
Stay in Liverpool.
Stay in Liverpool.
Source it.
I'm going there tomorrow. I'll let you know how it is.
Please do.
Yeah, I think that
Pick 5 courses then that you
Hillside, S&A, Birkdale.
Got to do Wallasey.
Formby, and Wallasey.
Wallasey's insane. And you can stay in Liverpool. Ideal. If you were going to Scotland, obviously around St Andrews there's so many amazing golf courses, Crail, Ely, all St Andrews courses. But East Lothian, where we've just been, insane. We got an Airbnb, didn't we? It's really nice, right on the front of the golf course at North Berwick. It's heaven. And
then I'd say Europe, I'd actually probably go Turkey. I think some of the golf courses in Turkey are just outrageous. Like stay at like Regnum, and you got Max Royale, Regnum, the Faldo course. They're all loads of them are floodlit as well. So you get some great golf all like 24 hours you could play golf. So it's class. Some good hotels as well.
I'll start saving up then.
Yes.
Just wondering, obviously you did your video with Rick Daniels and the lads down at Myerscough. I'd be interested to see a match with Rick against some of the talent down there. Your games where you play, where you start at 10 under, and see if the lads at Myerscough could potentially
beat me.
Beat you.
Yeah, probably could. We are...
Or you could just play Rick Daniels and have done with it.
It would be good. I don't know if I'd want to get my ass kicked again. No, Rick's a pretty good golfer.
There was some good players there, wasn't there?
There's some really good players there. I think let's give them a few years. Let's see if they are willing to do it. Still trying to recoup some money from that video. So we'll see what happens. But I think I love supporting the college. You know, I was there for a couple of years. If we can do more at the college, then great. Because you went to my school, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so I think anything that I can do kind of there would be great. I also want to take that concept and actually go to a college in America. So I think the characters and the personalities will be very, very different for Canberra.
There's a few of them who go from there and move on, and it's nice to see them move on.
Yeah, really good.
Just a note on that though, and this is one thing that we've ever put in the podcast or spoke about, but I think we should give it a bit of light to now because it's something else he did. On that day when Rick played at Myerscough and put up all that money, he actually also donated £5,000 to the college. And as bad as it sounds, we put it in the video, and then we thought it doesn't quite fit. We actually took it out the video, so no one ever saw it.
We took out the video?
Yeah, we did. We took out the video.
What?
But yes, that was another nice touch that obviously you gave back to that college. I know you had a great time there. Met some great friends.
I had some great night outs, yeah. Thank you very much. Any more questions?
So just a quick one for either one of you. What makes match play so bleeding hard?
Match play?
Yeah.
I find it so much easier.
It's a grind.
Yeah, probably me too. Easier.
I find that you can have blow up holes and you can, I think it's just, I love the psychology of it. I love how you can win on the first tee. Like if you rock up like with 1 minute to spare, chuck your bag down, stick a ball on the floor without even teeing up and smash driver down the middle, you've won. You know, I think it's...
But does that happen?
In a film, yeah. But I think I love the mental side of match play, and I love how you're just playing against one person. If you struggle with match play, the top tips is feel like kind of trying to... I know you might. The sportsmanship of match play is quite challenging, isn't it? For some people.
Well, what about this then? So this is one of the techniques I've got in the locker. I've not used it on Rick yet, but it will come one day. We're playing together, of course. We both know that's a caveat. You have to both know it. I'm on a par 3. It's your honour, right? It's normally about a 7 iron. If I pull out my 5 iron before you hit, so you start thinking, oh, is that wind actually that bad? I best hit my 5 iron too. You missile it through the green, and I then get out my 7 iron, which I wanted to hit all along. How does that sit with you?
Love it.
Perfect. There you go.
I love any of those kind of tactics where you give loads of gimmies early and then don't give gimmies at the end. I love this kind of if you're playing partners really slow, you play really quick.
Yeah. What about then the caveat would be if you were, say you remember here, Lancaster Golf Club, and you're playing a visitor from another club, You obviously have to give them some insight to the course. That's only fair. Or do you not? Can you tell them nothing?
Of course you can tell them nothing.
This is telling you about Rick now.
Of course you can tell them nothing.
Win at all costs.
Yeah, just say, just act dumb. Oh, I can't remember this hole. Haven't you been the captain here? Yeah, but I just can't remember what this. They've had a redesign or a rejig. Yeah, you got to be brutal.
So that's how to get better at match play. Be brutal. That's from Rick Shiels' mouth.
Any more questions?
Yeah, what's it like going from playing on camera, which I guess is kind of quite serious, then playing casually, and kind of how does it feel, and how much do you play casually now?
What does that mean?
Just like, oh yeah, I guess it's never casual, is it?
Does anyone play without cameras on? To be honest, I play so rarely without cameras. It is really nice when I get a chance. It's really nice, but often I actually feel really guilty if I don't play. If I play golf without cameras, I genuinely get a feeling of guilt, because I want to show people when I go 4 under through 5, and sometimes
that's like when you play when you're dreaming those rounds.
I sometimes just can't show it to the world. But no, I do feel a bit more relaxed, because what's mad about making videos, obviously when you are making videos for YouTube, you've got to kind of paint the picture. You've got to I'm 150 yards out, the wind's into, I don't really want to miss left. I've got a good score going. You kind of verbalizing what really is going through your head, but it's not really what I'd normally be thinking if I was playing. But you've kind of got to paint the picture for a YouTube video, because otherwise it's just like, hi, 150, hit. Like, you've got to bring the emotion into it, really. So my friends get really annoyed with me when I'm playing with them, and and there's no cameras, because they're saying, "What are you doing, Rick? Why are you telling me all this? Just hit the shot." But yeah, I know you don't play loads casually. You go to the range a lot. I don't particularly practice. I need to practice a bit more. I do my best to try and make as many golf videos as I can, and sometimes cycle from Scotland to Liverpool. I just fill my time with that rather than actually hitting balls. Yeah. But yeah, it's something I need to do more of, ideally. I think when ideally I free up some time, I'll practice and play. The young lad at the back with the top. Got my mum VIPing you in there. Hey, you've got the approval from my mum. You're in.
My question is, would you ever do an episode of Break 75 at Lancaster?
Yes. Are you on the marketing team?
Yeah.
Are you on the social media team? Mum, you didn't vet this question very well before. Absolutely. To be honest, we did actually try. I've rang up in the past, but I think it was the wrong time of year. So when we get the right time of year, we'll come back.
Yeah.
What's a good time to play?
Summer.
What's
Maybe
the par?
August.
What's the par?
72.
Bring the mic up a tiny bit higher. And then what's the course record?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't worry about that, Rick.
Yeah, we'd love to. So yeah, let's. It might not be this year, or it might be when we can, because we've got a bit of a tight schedule going on at the moment. But yeah, I'd love to. You're gonna come and caddy for me?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. You come caddy for me. All right, guys. Sorry to cut a little bit short. Someone's got a bike ride tomorrow, so let's do one more quick question, if you don't mind. The guy in the middle who's had his arm up a few times.
My question's about the mental side of golf. How, if you're having a bad round, 12, 13 holes in, do you just keep it together and not just want to give up and just trying to get through the holes, but really steady yourself to play good holes towards the end?
Mate, I think that's the question that every single golfer on the planet asks themselves, if I'm honest with you. I think golf's one of the most enjoyable but most frustrating sports in the whole world, as everybody knows in this room. So it's trying to take the small wins, and in a weird way, like, sounds ridiculous, but even I could relate what I've done today or the last few days into golf. Like, the first day I wanted to quit. Genuinely, I was ready to go. I can't do this. This is too hard. But you take the small wins. You go, well, let's try and get through the next kilometer. Let's try and get to the next milestone. Let's try and get to the next pit stop. And I don't think it's too dissimilar to golf. Like, sometimes it's like, yeah, I'm having a terrible round, but could I make a birdie? Could I make a par even? Could I hold that 15-footer? Just something that keeps you invested in the round of golf. But golf's bloody hard, as we all know in this room. Like, but you need to set those small little wins along the way. And even if you have a horrendous round, but you can look back at it and go, you know what? I didn't quit. I didn't NR. Like, take that as a win. And to be honest with you, after the 13th hole, when I ripped up the scorecard off, mentally I did, it was all right. Yeah. You know, I can still go home and enjoy my day, and next time go out and beat it. So I think everyone in this room probably relates to a bad round of golf after not just 13 holes, after 2 holes sometimes. But you just got to stick with it, get the small wins, and it'll, next time you go out and play, you'll be stronger for it. Is that all right? Right, guys. Well, thank you to Lancaster Golf Club. You've been amazing. Your hospitality's been superb. We shall be back. And I've got one more day to go, 150 kilometers. If everyone listening and watching would donate, I'd love to. I really would. I mean, I think we're on 40. Let me get a live number on it right now. Oh, wow, it's gone even up more. I'd love to. What's it up to? I'm just wondering if Tom Cruise has donated or David Beckham or Tiger Woods. No, I'll just double check. I think Tiger's put a tenner in. £44,500.
Very good. Very good.
So if you're watching, if you're listening, if we can knock that over 50,000 and possibly more, it'll mean a lot. And thank you so much. Thanks for you today.
Thank you, mate. It's been a pleasure.
It was
sweaty. It was very sweaty. Yeah, just on that, everyone, you know, here in this room, but certainly listening back at home or watching this video, wherever you might be, you know, I did a very, very small part of this today, but I can only honestly echo how hard it actually is. It might sound like a broken record for those people that I've spoken to here today about the difficulty of it, but it's not a bike ride. It's more than that. It's so tough. And the heat as well. I mean, it's best part of 30 degrees Celsius, which for the guys listening, girls in America listening, might not be too hot, but for us, it's very, very hot. So it's difficult. Please donate if you can. Rick's doing a great job raising awareness and obviously so much cash as well. But yeah, thank you. Keep going, mate. You're doing a great job.
Thanks, pal. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming.